crazy. I created that show. You know, a lot of people. It was 3 people, me and 4 other people from Detroit, and we all caught the Greyhound to New York, L.A., New York too. Opened up for Jamie Foxx for years. Called The Other Level, and then we groomed Nick. So The Other Level I was telling you about earlier, we had a deal with Will Smith, and then it was The Other Level show, but nobody picked it up.
What's the show?
Wilding Out, basically.
Oh, okay.
So, and then Nick had a show. He had a deal, and his show didn't go together. I'm sorry, his deal didn't click. So I think I'm gonna either say Will Smith told Nick Cannon, "Hey, take this show," or Nick Cannon said, "Hey, man, I'm gonna take this show, but I'm gonna get Spanky because Spanky's the leader and he knows how to, show me how to do the show." So once I taught Nick and MTV how to do the show, they tried to fire me like 5-6 times, like word, like for real. Like before we even filmed, they fired me like twice. Yeah.
When Nick's pointing at you and saying he wants you to be a part of the production,
right.
which is Wild and Out,
right?
What makes him pick you? Like
because I was the blueprint to what he was trying to do.
But how does he figure out that you are the blueprint to everything?
Because he's hanging with me every day.
So he's just seeing like, based off of what I'm seeing from this guy, the self-generating content that he is.
Yeah.
He can do this. He can help me accomplish my goals with the Wild and Out.
For sure.
So that's as simple as it is as far as you guys starting it together. It's just
that's one way to look at it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have a better way of kind of expanding on the way I'm kind of perceiving it?
Well, it's kind of whatever. But he knew that we had something. They were even trying to put him in our group. But he was like younger than us. So it was like, I don't think that'll fit. So he waited 3 years, 4 years. He was doing roll bounce. I'll never forget this. He was doing it in Chicago, and I just happened to be in Chicago. And he was like, yo, come to the set. And when he was telling me the idea, he said, I got a deal with MTV. And I was like, word. He was like, yeah, we're going to do a show. And I'm like, all right. I was like, going to put me on it? He was like, of course. And I was like, so what's the show about? And he was like, it's kind of like the show that you do. You and your group do. I was like, oh, so you're going to put all of us on it? And he was like, no, just this you. And I was like, what? And then I was like, all right.
So this is something I'm ignorant of. This group that you're talking about that's doing the show that's basically Wild and Out before Wild and Out. What was the show called?
We were called The Other Level.
The Other Level.
Yeah.
Okay.
Joe Blunt, Howie Bell, Tony Roberts, Thomas Ward.
Was it on TV?
Andre McCoy. We did, it was This Is How We Do, that nigga, Montel Jordan. He was hosting this Motown live show. And then at the end of their episodes, we would come on and do something. So that was like what we was doing before. But it was more like songs. But games, we was doing everything.
Okay, so
we did Wild and Out, basically.
So this is the map of the show that you created, and then he sees it and goes, let's turn that into like an actual television show for MTV.
Right.
And then he knew you were the one who was kind of the mastermind behind making it work and operate. So he picked you, but not the rest of the people that were involved in it.
Exactly.
And first day of shooting and everything, they tried to fire you before the show even starts?
Yeah. Yeah.
So what did they need you for if they were going to fire you?
They needed me because I knew how to do the show correctly.
Yeah.
They would have just been throwing darts, you know what I mean? So I had the formula. I've just been doing it.
Yeah.
This is what we were doing. So he knew that I was very dedicated to it. So he knew that I would come in and kill it. So, but it ain't all bad. I still got to do a TV show.
No, for sure. It's just interesting how that works for anybody, because I'm heavily involved in like the upcoming underground scene, and it's like interesting to hear the stories of like people trying to accomplish their goals or dreams, and then somebody kind of manipulates a situation and like ruins it for you. So when they try to fire you the first time before the show even films, what's the way of how they try to do it? How they try to fire you?
They just called me in the office. I remember this redhead. It was a redhead casting agent. She was kind of fine. And she had freckles on her face and shit. She was firing me. I was like, damn, you firing me? You fine as fuck. Why they let you fire me? I was like, damn, all right. So I told Nick, and he got mad immediately. What? They fired you? Nah, fuck that. Walk me right back up to the office. Hey, no. We can't do this without him.
Yeah.
It's like, no. They tried to turn it really, really white. And eventually they did get a lot of white cast members. But it was the only black show on MTV, the second one. The first one was Yo MTV Raps. The second one was Wildin' Out.
Man.
So
the show's obviously a massive hit, right?
yeah.
Huge success. You're a part of it.
Yeah.
You're working with Nick Cannon, man. Talk about the experience from the first episode and on.
Man, it was crazy, man. It was crazy because the first episode, Cat. I don't know if Cat was on that one. He wasn't on that one. I think he came. No, he was definitely on the first season. Well, I don't know. I just remember Cat coming out and everybody saying "Money Mike, Money Mike," and I was like, "Damn!" I looked at Effion like, "Damn, he already famous." And he was like, "Yeah, he is." So that was kind of a trip. So I was like, "Damn, everybody see us." Like it didn't really hit me until it started coming on TV. But when we was filming it, it was so fun. Like, damn, this gonna be. We was all thinking this about to be crazy. And then it was right after Dave Chappelle went off TV. See, all this shit is. That's what I'm saying, guys.
Post Chappelle.
Yeah, so this is when Dave Chappelle's going to Africa and they say he's crazy and shit like that.
So he's doing crack in Africa.
All that.
Yeah.
So, right shortly after that, that's when Wildin' Out came out.
Wow. So like it was the perfect timing too for the show to come out.
Well, they're not really gonna let two black shows come out like that at the same time.
You think that's like a real thing?
Hell yeah. Fuck yeah. So or we're gonna have to compete against each other. So they're not gonna put two black shows in two good spots. They're gonna put them both.
I thought Chappelle's show was on Comedy Central when it came out.
Yeah, but it would have been MTV and Comedy, so they would have made black people pick. Like, so you want to watch Dave Chappelle? You've seen that already. So here's a new show, Wildin' Out, full of niggers. Let's go. So it's like, you know.
So you guys are blowing up. You guys get Cat Williams. You don't even realize how big Cat Williams is at the time.
Yeah, but we all knew, but we was more shocked that he was gonna be on the show.
Okay.
Yeah, like wow. Okay.
So what's the experience like as far as watching the show trajectory just skyrocket?
Man, by the second season, and when we knew we was shooting the second season, it was like, whoa. Man, I bought a fucking Maserati and all kind of jewelry.
You bought a Maserati with your first season check?
Yeah. Well, I was getting checked. We was getting checks then. We was getting a lot of money then. By the fourth season, fifth season, I was a straight up baller. Like